Killing it like a blind man reading, I'm feeling it like, oh, yeah, here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like.
Hello guys, what's up? So check it out, we're here on Massivecraft.com. Now what is this? As we can see here, it says Quest NPC and Factions Quest. That just sounds weird and kind of lame, but I'm here to tell you it's not. Now, ever since I started playing Factions, I was looking for something different. The whole building walls every day, raiding, cannoning and stuff, it was fun. It had its time, and for me that time was gone. Back when I first started playing Minecraft, I actually played a townie server, and I played Opticraft kit or survival and kit PvP, but I played survival and I played townie. I liked the whole you could build your own shop thing. I liked how you could do quests, you know, just whatever. You're fending for yourself, so to speak, and you didn't have to worry about cannons and stuff, and that's what Massivecraft offers. Now, I'm not being paid to endorse this. This is purely out of fun, and my friends and I are playing. I've joined Mafro from, if you guys remember back when I played emenbee, he was the leader of Afro Circus. We've all partnered up and we're playing here, and I'm actually loving it, guys. This server has so much to offer, from custom enchants to custom, just everything is custom. The terrains, the maps, everything. So if I go in that world, my inventory goes with me. If I go in that world, I have the same inventory, but you can explore all these different custom terrains and stuff, and it offers role playing. It also has, you know, your normal factions. It has everything. Now, I'm gonna join right now with my faction and Mafro, and we're gonna go through and discuss, you know, I'm just gonna ask them a bunch of questions on kind of like the basics of the server, like just questions that somebody would ask that has no idea. I really recommend checking out the Massivecraft.com website, just because there's a link that actually has clickable, you know, little pictures and everything that walks you through all the custom commands. Like chat here, I have to do F colon to speak in faction chat, but if I do F, you know, G colon, I'm in general chat, T colon is trade chat, stuff like that. So everything is custom. Now, note, these are the creators of the original Factions plugin. They know what they're doing. Everything is custom coded by hand, and I'm just excited about the mobs. There are custom bosses and NPCs and everything, but the first thing you want to do is when you join this server, start talking to this Quest NPC. His name is Advisor Henry. He'll give you your first set of armor, which he'll give you some tools and some food and stuff, and then you go ahead and do the tutorial, and then you go through your portal. We actually play on the Fenderfell world, and our faction name is Afroville or something, Afrovillis or something, I don't know. You can just do FF AbusiveAdmin. We're not really recruiting, but we are looking to sell plots outside the base. You're welcome to build next to anyone. Just know, when you first join the server, the first command you're going to want to run is /dyn map space hide. Now the reason you do that is on the website at Massivecraft.com, you click the Worlds tab, and you can actually view a live map of every single world, and if you're not hidden, players can see where you're at, your exact location, and come to you and fight you. There is no overclaiming, there's no cannoning, it's just strictly you're outside somebody's base, you go knock knock guys, come out, and if they're there you fight them, if they're not, you don't. You're allowed to trap, you're allowed to all that stuff. Obviously no hacking stuff. Now your stuff is protected, so if somebody does glitch or hack into your base, they can't open your chest and stuff, so it's a different experience. It's more of a newbie experience, but I'm going to personally enjoy it. I hope you guys get the opportunity to check it out. If you think it's gay or lame, that's fine. You know, let me know in the comments why you don't like it. Maybe because it's not the generic Factions experience you're used to, but for me personally, I'm really excited to play it, and I hope you guys enjoy the series, but here we go.
Video. I'm here with AbusiveAdmin and a bunch of buddies of his. We're on Massivecraft right now, and Abusive is just checking out Massivecraft, and I'm going to kind of walk him through the server. We're going to talk about the good points, we're going to talk about the bad points. He's joined my faction, so we're going to check out the build that we're working on, all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, welcome. Thanks for joining me, Abusive.
Hey, I appreciate you inviting me, man. I kind of wanted a different Factions experience, and when I found out there was custom mobs on here, that's all I needed.
Yeah, well, this is totally different. So right now we're standing in TP events. So TP is a teleport location, and this is an event where there's archery going on. The entire server's been firing at little blocks out here to try to hit the buttons and light up the redstone lamps and to make points. And whoever gets the most points ends up winning something. It just happens that somehow I'm at the top of the leaderboard right now, and there's a few people are around. But if you like, we can go ahead and head over to our F home and talk about what makes Massivecraft like just totally different from any Factions experience you've had before.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I appreciate you walking me through it, man, because
yeah,
it's kind of confusing.
It's totally confusing. Here's the problem that I had. So I found Massivecraft about 7 months ago or something, and I think I'd actually run into the site sometime before then. But if you go to the site, it says it's like all about factions, right? And I've played factions for a while. You played factions for forever.
Yeah.
You're like the granddaddy of factions. And so what we're used to is create a box of cobble essentially, and put chests in it and cover those with water and cover the box with water, and then just make walls like you wouldn't believe, because people are going to be coming with cannons and blowing them up, right? That's kind of what factions.
That's generally, and it gets worse as time goes on. That's kind of why we lost interest.
Yeah. And so Massivecraft is a completely different experience. The first, most basic thing you have to understand about Massivecraft is that explosions are disabled. And that just blew my mind. I was like, wait, so what?
So it's factions without explosions?
It's factions without explosions. And it's good and it's bad, right? So the good side of it is that you can build something, kind of cool. So I'll head out here and just take a look at this castle we've been working on. So we have, this big old castle here that my faction's been working on. We've been around for 1 week, 5 days.
You guys built this by hand?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I personally laid most of the blocks for this.
Wow.
But so it took a little while. But so and that part's cool. You can build things that are interesting and cool, not just like a big watery box. But the downside is that when you go to war with people, you can't really do much to them, right? You can't just crack into a castle and take their stuff. If they haven't designed the castle well, maybe you can e-pearl over, maybe you can do other things. But I built this to be fairly impregnable, which is in some ways kind of lame of me, to be honest. So I basically can choose whether or not to PvP with people.
Okay, so they can't really take our base or anything, but we can still fight them?
We can still fight them, that's right.
Okay.
Now the other thing is that there is no overclaiming. So when you lose power, you can lose power lower than the number of claims that you have. Now in most faction servers, that means you're overclaimable, right?
Yes,
not
correct.
in Massivecraft. Yeah, not in Massivecraft. So Massivecraft, it's just it's a feel-good kind of squishy version of factions in some way.
It's kind of like Factions meets Townie or something.
Totally.
It's cool though.
I think of it more of as a Townie gameplay experience. But like Townie on MMORPG, there's a PvP arena, right? And so you go in there to PvP. In this, you can think of it, the entire world is like a PvP arena, and you're building your PvP arena. And some people build, specifically spots outside of their bases for others to come and PvP with them.
Now,
So
I have a question for you when it comes to that. So if I kill somebody in PvP, do I get their stuff? Because I noticed that on the website it said I keep my inventory.
So it depends. If they are active in PvP, in other words, if they've hit you, then you get their inventory, except for their armor if they're premium. So it depends on whether you're premium or not. So
Okay.
So if they're not premium, you just get their stuff. If you are premium, then you can keep your inventory if you don't fight back, essentially. And if they kill you and you're premium and you did fight back, is the way I understand is that you still keep your armor.
Okay.
So armor is like a permanent thing that you keep once you're premium.
That's actually kind of cool though. It's really different, but it'll be all right.
Yeah, it's definitely different. So there's lots and lots of cool things about Massivecraft. So you've already explored. I know you were talking about massive mobs.
Yeah.
And these guys are coders, right? These guys built the Factions plugin. So we're dealing with the originators of the Factions plugin. They've got the source code. They can do whatever they want with it, and they've built lots and lots of things. So I'm going to cruise over here. I see there's some mobs, and we can kind of check them out. So there's mobs over here that have blue names over there.
Okay, like the undead or whatever? Yeah.
Exactly. And if they have blue, that's like a boss. And there's different levels of bosses. Blue is actually the shortest level of, or the smallest level of boss.
Okay.
There's also green names, which indicate bigger bosses. And there's even bigger, more deadly creatures out there.
Oh, so this is just a basic?
Yeah, so you're dealing with basics. The blue guys are fairly basic as well. They're not too hard.
Okay, I noticed he had a lot of hearts though.
Yeah, they have the blue ones definitely have a lot of hearts. They have, I think, 5 times the hearts of a normal mob, and then I think green have 50 times the hearts of a normal mob.
I'm gonna have to get some better gear then, man. I'm gonna die quick.
Yeah, you will. So
I'm
it
back.
definitely makes it challenging. But then I actually fought something that was beyond green once. It just appeared outside my base one time, and it was called an ancient slime, and the thing just had just for days, XP for days, or health for days. It was insane.
What color was it?
I actually don't remember. They're super rare.
Oh,
so you
okay.
can think of you can think of bosses as spawning 1 out of every 5 mobs. You can think of the bigger bosses as spawning 1 out of every 50 or something. And then the really big ones, I guess maybe the 1 out of every 500 to follow the pattern. I really don't know. This guy, this undead marksman, is firing flaming arrows at us.
Yeah, I noticed.
So,
oh god.
Also, the blue guys oftentimes have wither effects, or maybe it's the green guys. I forget. It's been a while. But so you have to just they come out with these bigger powers. Like this ancient slime I fought. The reason he was so tough, and in fact he killed me, was that from far away he was able to hit me with a poison effect, like from a distance. And
wow.
Oh, check it out! It looks like I'm a champion. Woohoo!
Oh, so what is your prize in something like that? That was my first event. I only got 5 points. I did terribly.
Yeah, they showed a bow or something. I don't know if it's going to appear in my inventory or what. Oh, it did. So I'm looking at it right now. It's a golden bow. That's what it's called. It's got Power 5, Flame 1, Unbreaking 3, Infinity 1, and Prestige 2.
Now, what is that?
So they have what are called lore items. And lore items are just like regular items, except they have some sort of text that goes along with them, like the lore of that item. And as part of that lore, sometimes they will have enchantments that are just like make no sense, like Prestige. And those actually don't do anything in game. They're just like kind of fluff for those that care. And that harkens to Massivecraft's history as a role-playing server. So it has factions, and that's you go these faction survival worlds, but it also has role-playing. You've got some guys behind you. Oh, and I couldn't actually.
Oh man, I appreciate that. So now I have another question. This may be a little off topic, but when I was browsing the forums, because I was trying to get a grasp on the server, there's a lot of commands and things you got to learn, and luckily the Massivecraft website helped me out a lot. But what is a DYN map or DYN map? I didn't really understand that.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a great question. So DYN map, that stands for dynamic map. And you can actually go to maps.massivecraft.com and you can see maps of the worlds in 3 dimensions. And you can even, depending on the settings of players, you can see players running around on them. In fact, that actually brings up a good point right now. Chances are people right now are seeing us on the map. At least you new guys, because by default you show on the map. And there's a command /DYN map hide, which will turn you off from the dynamic map.
Okay, I hid myself. Whew. Okay, so people could just show up?
Yeah, they just show up. A lot of people just hunt using DYN maps. So this guy's green, and he's going to be doing wither. He's going to have a wither effect on you and tons of hit points. So he's nasty. The reason that I have such a accuracy in bows, I think, is because of these big old massive mobs. Because I fight them a lot from a distance, just because they can be super nasty. So
now, since there is MC Momo in here, I have a question. So like, my sword is getting kind of low. Can I just repair it like a normal faction server?
Absolutely, yeah. We've got in the base, we've got iron block repairs and also gold blocks for salvaging.
Okay, cool. So, somebody died.
Oh, somebody died, and a big old lightning strike came down. That was awesome.
How do I get my stuff back?
I guess you go. What is it? F home, and then you'd have to come find us. I gotta run.
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh no.
CFE premium to keep your stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can keep your inventory. I think I only paid $8 for the premium, so it was yeah.
So check your chat right now. We just killed this guy, and I got money +1 drop skeleton. It says 20.4%, and I got XP 30 skeleton, also 20.4%.
Oh,
so Massivecraft has this really cool system where when multiple people contribute to a kill, it keeps track of the percentage of damage you've done, and then you get that percentage of loot in terms of regals and XP.
Yeah.
Now there's also like normal drops, and those drop, and you can fight over more. Say you get the rotten flesh and whatever. But I thought that was kind of a cool feature of Massivecraft.
Now, when we killed one a minute ago, it dropped an iron ingot. Do they drop any like custom swords or anything?
I'm not sure I've seen custom swords, but they do drop all sorts of crazy stuff.
Okay.
There are lore items that they will drop that are like, even you can kill like a pig, and you'll sometimes get not just the pig flesh or whatever, but you'll also get uncooked pork chop, but you'll also get like sturdy hide.
Okay.
Kind of silly. And some of those are worth something. Most of them, quite frankly, are not. So another thing I really Another thing I really like about Massivecraft is the economy. So the economy, there's no server shop. You don't sell anything or buy anything, as far as I know, to and from the server. Everything is between players, and so that creates a really interesting dynamic.
Does that lead to scamming, or how does that shop work?
I'm not aware of any scamming. I mean, they use the chess shop plugin or one very similar to chess shop.
Like a sign or something.
Exactly. So
Okay.
you can go to TP Market and yeah, a few little guys behind you, but you can go to TP Market and see. I forget how many shops in total there are. There's 24 rich shops, which are the biggest ones. There's a bunch of regular shops, and there's some cheap shops as well. So there's lots and lots of stuff to buy, but because it's always players, you don't build like huge cactus farms or whatever. There's no point, right? I guess in theory you could, but no one's going to buy it. There's no demand for it.
Yeah.
So there's no artificial demand in this economy, which is something I haven't seen too often in other servers. So
Okay.
I really like that.
Now I see this shop. It says God Armor, and it has a link to the
User was moved out of your
not a
channel.
link, but an arrow pointing to a chest, right? It says Severish 1B 180. Is that like buy, and that's how much it costs? 180.
Yeah. So it'll tell you the
User
name of the
joined your
player.
channel.
Okay.
It'll tell you the name of the player, and then it will tell you how much you're buying, like the number of units, and then it will tell you B for how much it costs, or S for sell. You can actually left click to sell and right click to buy.
Okay. Cool.
So you can yeah. So Severish is one of the players, and yeah, so you see this B180, so you can buy one diamond helm for 180 regals. And so this shop is where a lot of the transactions happen, but you can also create your own shops, like in your own property. That's one of the things I have planned for the Afrovia faction, is we're creating that big castle, but the reason I'm flattening all the land around it is to create a market town around it. And I've got already 3 different people who have said, hey, I want to set up a shop once you've finished that up. So I'm going to use F access to grant them access to build within Afrovia's claimed land, even though they're not Afrovia faction mates. And then they'll be able to set up shops and buy and sell stuff.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. These shops right here cost money. In fact, if you go to the outside, so you're in the inside ring right now. If you go to the outside ring, you'll see on the inside of it, inside of the outside ring are shops, which are a little bit smaller than the rich shops. And then they've got these little cheap shops, which are almost like stall size. And you can see that a cheap shop costs 300 for 30 days. So you could right click that sign if you had 300 regals, and then you would have this space to set up your own shop. You could build whatever you want, and all that kind of stuff. So
That's pretty fancy, actually.
I think it's a really neat feature, and I like the fact that the economy is real. You know what I mean? It's not some fake economy where you're just pumping out, cactus or pumpkins, or everybody on a new faction server goes and hits the shop and then analyzes, what's the rate of production that I can get on various items, and what are they selling for, and then everybody kind of settles on 2 or 3 strategies, and you end up with cactus farms or pumpkin farms or melon farms or whatever it is all over the map.
Okay.
And,
So
that's just not the case here.
that leads me to another question, Mafro. How the heck do I make money? Because that kill we just did gave me 1 regal. I'm gonna need some. If I want to get some armor, I'm gonna actually have to get some money.
Yep. So there's a number of ways of doing it. So the main way is killing mobs. When you kill a normal mob, there's a chance that you'll get a regal off it. When you kill a blue mob, there's a chance you'll get. I think you always get 1 regal off it. When you kill a green mob, you usually get between 4 and 6 regals. And so what players do is they build dark rooms. That's another thing about Massivecraft, is you don't have like the traditional mob grinders. They specifically don't allow you to build anything that moves mobs around. So what people do is they dig out these what they call dark rooms, which are just, as you can imagine, just a dark room where mobs spawn, and they go down there and they just go to town on them with looting 3 swords or whatever, and end up getting regals that way. So that's one way to get regals. Another way is to obviously set up a shop and sell stuff. Now, what I did is I created a book, actually. I went through this market and I found out all the best sellers and all the best buyers of all the ores, and I created a book. I'll actually give you a copy so you can see what it's like, and then use that to arbitrage the marketplace. I did it in my first video Let's Play on Massivecraft from this video series.
Okay, so you're already trying to find ways to make the most money. Okay.
Yeah, I'm already looking for ways to make them monies, and I made 200 regals doing that, so that wasn't too bad. I'll give you a copy of this, and I'm also selling the book itself to players for 100 regals each, and I've actually sold I think 11 or 12 copies. So
Oh, wow.
that's made me over 1,000 regals. So come to F home, and I'll drop you one.
Do that.
Let's give you a
And
copy.
a guy there in chat is asking you a question. Says,
Who's asking me a question?
Dark
here?
Mist in faction chat. He says, "Did
Oh,
you
yeah,
win?"
Yep. So Dark Mist is one of our faction mates. Now, I've played factions for a while. I've had a faction with as many as 35 members at one point. And so some of these members are finding out that I'm on Massivecraft, and they're joining me over here. So Dark Mist is one of those I've known for a very, very long time.
Okay, cool. Well, you know, it's gonna be exciting. I get to meet all your friends. You get to meet all mine. I guess-
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it'll be different, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah. The one thing, so there's all this cool stuff. Have you hit /T yet?
/T.
Yeah, just hit /T. So they also have traits. Now, because this server has like a history as a role-playing server, if you've ever played role-playing games, Dungeons and Dragons, that sort of thing, you customize a character with traits, or some ability that you have that other people don't have. And so if you do /T list, you can see a bunch of different traits that you can get, like I don't know, slime truce. So what that means is slimes won't attack you, and it costs you 15 points, and you start off with like 100 points, or if you're premium you get 150. So if you want to, you can spend quote unquote 115 out of that 150 trait points and get slime truce, and then slimes are your buddies. They never attack you unless you attack them. And so there's all sorts of different traits. I think there's like 118 of them, I guess it says right there for me. And some of them make you, like people take sets of traits that make them like a vampire. They'll role play as a vampire, and they'll say that they can only eat, I guess when they hurt somebody or something. And, and if they're out in the sunlight, then they get hurt themselves. So some of the traits are negative traits. I should point that out. Anything that is green, I think, is a positive trait. Let's see if I can find negative. Yeah. So if you get to page 4, I could do T-list page 4.
Yeah.
Or T-list 4. You start seeing these red traits, like archery inept. It gives you 20 points, and you suck at archery. I don't know what that actually means. Maybe you do less damage. I don't know. But you can go up against somebody, and they may have some traits that make it advantageous for them in a given environment. Like there's lava fly or something like that, where you can fly in lava. Yeah, fly lava. There it is right there. It costs 50 points. I don't know if that actually makes you immune to the damage of lava, but you can move quickly in it. There's another fly web, where webs don't slow you down. You can just fly through them. So there's just tons of unique things that can you to customize your character.
Wow. There is a lot to take in, man. It really is.
It's there's more and more.